Hello everyone, and welcome to this presentation of Aptora software. My name is Rich Browning, and today we're going to cover a couple of questions. One, does Flat Rate Plus integrate with Total Office Manager and Aptora Mobile II? And two, how does that integration take place, and how do you use that flat rate data in your mobile software, Aptora Mobile II? Well, today we're going to look at that and discuss exactly how that is integrated and how you can use that flat rate pricing information not only in your mobile software but also through your desktop solution, Total Office Manager. For this, I've gone ahead and opened up a Total Office Manager database. So let's go ahead and open up Total Office Manager. In Total Office Manager, through the File menu, you have the ability to import your Flat Rate Plus data. So this is for Flat Rate Plus made by Aptora, our flat rate pricing software, which is a standalone for exactly that, flat rate pricing. However, once you move forward with Total Office Manager and our mobile solution, Aptora Mobile II, you are able to import that Flat Rate Plus database into the software for use with the software in accounting and service-related transactions and tasks. So in order to do that, we would click the option, Import Flat Rate Plus Data. Once we click that option, we will be presented with the Flat Rate Plus Import Wizard. Upon arriving at this screen, you'll click the Next button. Here you'll be suggested to navigate to a file where you have saved a backup of your Flat Rate Plus database. So this could be anywhere on your local machine or on your network. You may also have it on an external hard drive of some sort, or maybe even a flash drive. Whatever the case, wherever that location may be, you'll want to go and navigate to that spot to find that backup database and to therefore import it. So I've got a backup database saved here on my local machine. We'll go ahead and navigate to that location. And then we will select that Flat Rate Plus database. In this case, I have an electrical database backed up that we can use. So I'll go ahead and make that selection, and then I will click the Open button in Windows Explorer. Once I have selected the Open button, we'll be returned to the Flat Rate Plus Import Wizard, where we can then select the Next button option. Here we're going to be presented with some different flat rate account information. So as you can see here, we'll want to go ahead and select the appropriate chart of accounts for how we import these flat rate parts and materials as well as labor into the accounting software, Total Office Manager. Once we have made those appropriate item selections, we will go ahead and move to the Next button again, where we will select our FRP Flat Rate Plus import options. Here we'll want to know things or make selections about things about the data, such as should Total Office Manager overwrite this Flat Rate Plus data if it comes across something that it has never seen or if it's already in the Total Office Manager database. We would make the appropriate selection. We can then go ahead and choose how we want to import these parts and materials into the database. This is essentially just asking the question, do you want to track inventory or do you not want to track inventory? And we will make the appropriate selection. Finally, we'll also be presented with a field where we can choose how to deal with sales tax found in Flat Rate Plus. Do we want to use the Flat Rate Plus tax that we've already assigned to that database? Do we want these parts and materials and labor to come across as tax exempt or taxable? And we'll make the appropriate selection. Once again, we'll click the Next button, make a few more import selections, preferences if you will, about how this data comes over into Total Office Manager. Then we will go ahead and click the Next button again. Here we will make our rate column selection. So as those who own flat rate are familiar, you'll probably remember that you have up to 6 columns of pricing that you can use with Flat Rate Plus. Well, with any accounting solution that is out there, including Total Office Manager, that cannot come over all of those 6 columns of pricing. You'll have to just choose one. Now, once you bring that data over, you do have the flexibility to add multiple different pricing rates, such as regular, regular ad, overtime, overtime ad, preferred or preferred ad, or any combination thereof to the Total Office Manager database from scratch. That way you're able to change those rates based on the call that you were on at the time, be it in the mobile software or whether you're going to do this from the Total Office Manager database. Typically, the account selection or the column selection here would be regular. Once we've made our selections, we can again go ahead and click the next button. It's going to force me here to add a column or a rate to the SPG pricing, our sample price guide, before moving forward. Once we have finished that option selection, we will go ahead and find ourselves on the import screen. And all we would need to do here is simply click the import button to begin importing all of that flat rate plus data into Total Office Manager. Now that can take up to 15 to 30 minutes depending on your machine, how much memory and resources are available. I'll go ahead and skip the import process just to save time, but I do want to go ahead and show everyone how that data appears in Total Office Manager. And to do that, I will open my invoice items list. Once I have my invoice items list open, I'm going to filter using the quick filter at the top by the type of item I'm looking for. In this case, a flat rate repair or task code would be referred to as a group item in Total Office Manager, a group item. So here in the name column, we can see examples of those flat rate repairs. And we can also see examples of group items that we have thrown together from scratch. Now this is very important because group items are what is going to show in your mobile software as flat rate repairs for your flat rate book. So group items contain all of the parts, materials, and labor that go or are associated with that flat rate repair. So I just wanted to point that out. These are group items, and these are what we'll see when we get into mobile right now. So let's go ahead and open up Aptora Mobile II and see how this flat rate plus data is now used in mobile. Well, once you have imported your flat rate plus data into Total Office Manager, we just looked at how those will come across as group items or import as group type items. Those group type items are going to fall under a specific data location we have called My Flat Rate Book. My Flat Rate Book, and that's available to you from the home screen and your users from the home screen. So here we have all of those different flat rate repairs now in our mobile device. So we can use these for selling different options and services. You can also associate images in the Total Office Manager database to help in selling these flat rate repairs and options that you have for your customers. Not only that, but with images, you can also move on to the More button, and here we can put detailed notes of these tasks and services in the Notes field on the item in Total Office Manager for view here on our mobile devices. And this might be something that you would show to your customer prior to them opting for one of your possibly good, good, better, best scenarios. There are lots of different ways and setup ideas that we can assist you with here at Aptora as to how you want this data to appear and make it just tailored for your company. So there we have all of our different flat rate items. Now we have flat rate plus in our mobile devices, or really it's in our Total Office Manager database. Now in order to use that information on work orders and invoices and different forms in the software, we are going to want to create those forms, right? So let's go ahead and create a new work order and watch how we add these flat rate repairs to a work order. Let's go ahead and choose our customer. I'll choose Tim and Linda Curtis, and then I'll go ahead and choose the next button. Now here we are on the work order form in Aptora Mobile II. Just to point out a few things if you've never seen this work order form before, we have the ability to track our timesheet entries. So our techs can clock in when they are en route to a job. They can clock in when they're working a job, and as each status expires or they move on to another status, you'll have the option to make that selection here in the top right corner of your work order form in the mobile software. We also have all of our customer and job information, our bill to and work address information. Everything that's available to us in the desktop software as far as the work order form is concerned, we would have available to us in the field on our tablet or iPad or mobile device, smartphone. Here we'll go ahead and skip to the Items tab. This is where we're going to go ahead and add our flat rate items to this work order form. So I would go ahead and perform a search. Maybe I know the 3-digit or character repair code that I'm looking for. In this case, ACA, Alpha Charlie Alpha. Then I could scroll through all the list of flat rate repairs that are thermostat repairs, and I would go ahead and make the appropriate selections. Click to add that selection to the form. And I can also go back and look up more items. Now, you don't have to add and go back. We'll take a look at that right now. Let's go ahead and add ARC or search for ARC. I know that's a flat rate repair code. So there's the two that I have in the database. We'll make the appropriate selection on that checkbox. And then we can also now go and search for another flat rate repair code or any other type of item. If you also want to use parts and materials pricing in conjunction with your flat rate pricing. So we'll go ahead and make the appropriate selection there, that checkbox for FNA. We're going to replace the 3rd horsepower, 1075 RPM 48 condenser fan motor. So we'll go ahead and add that to the work order form by selecting the Add button in the top right corner of the screen. And it's that simple. Here we have all of our flat rate tasks. We have all the parts and materials as well as our labor associated. If we need to update the quantities here on each one of these items, we can do so very easily. Just simply click the 2 or the toggle button on that 2. And we can minimize that item. We can do the same thing on any of these parts and materials found within the item group. Remember, those are our flat rate repair codes, those group items. And we can do that to all the items that are within this work order form. Now, if we want to change verbiage, if we want to change descriptions, we can do all of that using the controls that we have within each one of these individual group items, as well as the group item itself. We can do everything from change pricing. Just want to point that out. I know that's not the point of flat rate pricing, but just want to point out that you do have a lot of flexibility and a lot of power with your mobile software, Mobile 2, and especially as it relates to flat rate pricing. Now, once we have made any of the adjustments that we need to this form, we can go ahead and add our notes, make any changes to the work order, update the status of the work order, clock our time, and so on. But essentially, we would be ready to create our invoice, and we can go ahead and choose the Add Invoice option on our mobile device from the work order form. We do want to go ahead and save some time, right? Always looking for efficiency, so we'll automatically mark this work order as completed. It is optional, and we'll also include the items. We don't want double entry, right? So let's go ahead and click Submit, and now we have a mobile invoice created. A mobile invoice is now created. Now on our mobile invoice, again, no double entry, so all of these flat rate repairs that we have added to the work order form are now added to the invoice form for us. Now we do have a final selection that we can go and change quantities, we can go and change descriptions, and anything that we need to modify at this stage, we can also do that through the invoice form as well. But here, just representing, we do have all of those tasks and repairs on our invoice form. And from this point, we could go ahead and accept payment, credit card payments, or we could take a cash or check payment in the field. I know that was pretty quick and down and dirty, if you will. That's how simple it is actually, though, to import your Flat Rate Plus data into Total Office Manager and how you would then use that information on your mobile device. If you have any more questions about this particular topic, You can feel free to talk to technical support if you own the software, or if you do not own the software, you may also reach out to your sales account manager. Thank you again for watching this presentation of Aptora software. Have a great day.